Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Deborah and today I'm going to be playing with some file folders and some old envelopes, and I'm going to be channeling Jessica Rapp. Now if you haven't seen Jessica Rapp and her YouTube channel, then what have you been doing? Because she's brilliant. She does a lot of bulk makes and I really like that, and she's just really interesting to watch. So I would suggest, if you've not looked her channel up, it's Jessica Rapp 2 Silver Oranges. So go and have a look at what she does. But I just thought I'd do, a bit of a take on what she's been doing lately with envelopes. So I've got these envelopes, the vintage ones that I picked up the other day. These are from the, let me see, 1980, this one. So I think they're all from around the 80s. And this one's actually to the Main Roads Department. And it's posted at Stones Corner, which is a suburb in Brisbane. I also have some file folders, because what she did, which I thought was a really good idea, is she put the envelope on top of the file folder and stuck it on so that you get some structure within your piece and you still can use the envelope. Now what I'm making, I think she was making little journals, but what I'm going to make is just a journaling spot today. So I've taken some file folder and I've chopped it up, and I've made it slightly bigger than the envelope because I want to be able to chop it down, and also because I didn't want it to be too short. I wanted it to be bigger rather than smaller. And I'm going to put this on here so that the actual address is on the front cover. Now you can see it is a little bit too big, so I'll go and chop that down afterwards. But I think that that's quite a neat trick, isn't it? And I've already pre-scored my file folder in half, and then I've got some things that I'm just using my Helmers because I don't have any glue stick left, but I've got some of the papers that I had out. Was showing you on Sunday for some of these vintage papers. So I've got some from the different books and things that I bought, and I'm going to do some collaging on the inside. And the reason I bought these is because I love these figures and the maths equations and things that are in here. It's just a matter of sticking things in. I think it's not really rocket science. I've also got some others. This one's from the magazine. Looking at what piece I want on here. Quite like that scrolly thing. That's quite nice. Cut that out, or rip that out, I should say. I might just rip the edge off so it's not quite as straight as what it's looking at the moment. Put it down here, I think. And yeah, I'll put it down there. So just overlapping it a little bit, not very much. Then I'll tear the edges off afterwards. And I also have some of the thing from the shorthand book, because I just really think that's really very cool. I might put a piece down here for that. It's actually really thick too. Maybe I've got two sheets. 61, 62, no. It's actually a really thick book. So much so I thought I had 2 sheets there, but I don't. And I don't want this straight edge either. I want the page number too, but I don't want the straight edge. And I'll chop it down here. And again, now I haven't covered all of the file folder up, and that's fine. I can put some more things over the top if I don't like the space I've left. I just want to get some of this down really. Plus I'll be trimming this off, so it won't be the end of the world. And I'll just hold that to the light so I can see where the edge of the paper is and chop that off. Now I could ink these edges up before I did this if I wanted to. I haven't done that. And this one here I'm going to put down, I think, just on the fold here. Just keeping it really simple, but hopefully also really nice. Now I wanted some more of the math book. Where is that? Here. Tear that across. I'd like that to go this way actually. I'm going to tear the edge off there and just tear it across here. Now I have an idea, so I haven't, not bothering me that I'm not quite covering all of it, because I also got my royal book that I showed you with all the titles in it, this one here. I thought I'll be using some of the titles on top of what I'm doing here. And that would be a good way to use those. And I need something else. Look at this, it says pounds and shillings and cents. Oh, that's a bit of a funny, yeah, it's cute. This is from the little magazine, this piece here. It's been raining and raining and raining in Brisbane. We've had a complete deluge. After a year of hardly having any rain, it suddenly decided to all drop this weekend and going into this week as well, apparently, which is great. It's just we're getting it all at once. Now, where's that book here? So I think I will put some of these on. And I think I want to cut it down a bit from there. I don't want it to have it that big. Just a little touch of this on here. I'm just going to give it some ink on the edges now, and then I will put the papers in. Now I did cut it down just a little bit. I cut through the stamps a little bit because I put it on a tiny bit crooked, but I think it's fine. And it's awfully cute. And now I've got a few different papers. So I've got this one. I think I'll use this one and this one. Oh, I can't get it off. And then because I can, I'll also put one of these in. I'll just trim that edge down where I've ripped it out of the book. Now I'll just fold these in half. You can of course do this in your school board if you want to, but these light papers are just as easy to line up and fold in half. And you can probably get a few more than this in actually. I'm definitely putting things that I can write on, but also things that are for a bit of interest. Now I do have another piece of that paper, this exercise sheet in here. So I might put it in as well, I think, to make it a bit interesting when you open it up. I think that's also a little big. I must have cut the other one and not this one. I'll have to trim this off. And I think that this would make quite a little, nice little journal place. Got the dresses on there still. I think I might just make another one and then I'll sew them up and I'll show you the end result. And then inside, just have to make sure we put the stuff up the right way. I'll just put some more of that papers down. It's a pretty simple little project, but super effective, I think. Look at this adorable little girl, isn't she sweet? You want to rip around her and pop her on. Just chop this off, I think. I was going to use it, but I don't like it now. Just get that to fold in there because I've carried it to the next page. So it's, there you go, that's folding now. And then I'll need a couple of, it's not really, is it? It's just causing me havoc because I carried it over to the next page. That'll teach me. I'm just going to lightly slice that with my ruler, with my knife, sorry, so that it's released, and then it will work then. It won't go on to the next page. And I don't know where the glue went, but the glue's gone. And then when I do this, it should be fine. It's fine now. So I've just run those through the sewing machine just because that's easier than binding them. And since they're just a journaling spot, I think that's fine. And I've just put them together. So now you've got a little book. So you've got a little journaling spot here. And of course you could further enhance this if you wanted to. I ended up putting both the papers on the inside. I thought that, then you can see the layers there, but you've still got plenty of room to write. That's one, and then this is the second one. So we've got a little, the same thing here. Might just have to do that with the pages to get them to sit where you want them to sit. But that was pretty simple. And thank you to Jessica Rapp for showing me that when I was watching her this morning. I thought that was very cool. Now this one here is a little bit too long for the envelope, but a quick trim with the scissors and that will be fixed. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm making like a stacked pocket thing. I'm going to start with this one on the bottom, and then I'll have two others going up. I kind of want to get most of the stamps in. And I'm using a piece of file folder as a backing for it. I'm going to move them over this way actually, because then I can use this piece as a hinge to put them in a journal once I'm done with them. So I don't have to crunch it all, just the top section, because it's the only bit that's showing. And then I'll just rub my tool, my sponge, over the top. Get a little bit, I don't want much, I'm just lightly feathering that on top of it, and then do the edges a bit darker. So when it pokes out, you've got that bit of darkness on it. And then I'll just do this one as well. I'll just do it to the front section of the envelope, not the back section. And this will catch on those ridges then as I rub it lightly over. I'm not going to stick that down yet because I probably will sew this, but I just will put a little bit of glue to tack it on the back, just so I've got them in position. Then I'll have like 1, 2, 3 pockets. And I want to make sure when I'm doing this, you can still see the postmarks and obviously, the stamps. These are envelopes that already have stamps sort of built into them. I don't know if you can get that in other countries. I assume you can, but that's the way that they have those stamps here. I'm just looking at what I've got still sitting on the table that I can use to do some, decorative bits in here. As I said, I don't want to cover up that watermark, the postmark, but I'm happy to cover up this sort of stuff here. I won't cover the address on the front one. I'll just do this one here, cover it. I could have used one that didn't have this address on it. Would have just worked as well, I suppose. And I'll put a bit more on this bottom one because you'll be able to, you'll see it. So I'm just picking out what I want. Another one of these things from the gifts. So I've just grabbed a few other things out to put on, but I wanted to give a shout out to a fellow Etsy shop owner, and this is some sari silk that I bought recently, and it comes from an Etsy shop called Wild Spun Fibre. Now I have bought sari silk before, but never like this. Never for this price and never this much. It's just beautiful. It just took a while to work out how to open the roll, but I just managed it. I bought 2. So this is how it comes. And this piece was $12 for the bundle. So I bought 2 of them, and I just look at all the sari silk. It's actually 50 meters of sari silk, and I love this color. She also sent me a small bundle of something of sari silk again in this really vibrant purple, which is, I don't know whether she knows that I like purple, but somehow she managed to score that, and I don't actually know her name, so I apologize for that. I'll just see if I can find it. Hang on. Let's see. Wild Spun Fibre. I'm just looking on my computer in case you don't know. She's a fellow Queenslander and her name is Alyssa. So I wanted to say thank you, Alyssa. I love my sari silk, and I would encourage you. She does it in all different colours, but if you haven't had a look at her shop, then go and have a look, because it's beautiful. And so much, so generous for the price, I thought. So I've thought, well, I've got it open now. I think I'll use some. I've got a little bit of stuff that I bought before, and I still have some of that left. I've been a bit careful in using it because I wasn't sure if I could get it again. I have bought it from other places, and when it's come, it's taken ages and it's been so tiny. In fact, there was one place where I actually got my money back because it was just like this little tiny handful, and it was about $30. So you just need to be careful when you're buying sari silk, I think. So I thought I would share with you that and see if you like it, then you can see what else she has got in her shop. Nice to support a fellow Queenslander too. So I think that this bit here is the bit that starts it. I don't know where it starts and ends, but look, I can just chop a bit, can't I? It's sari silk. So let's have a look. Now, it's different sizes. This is, so she said in the thing it's about 2 centimetres wide, and it would be about that. It's a bit more than 2 centimetres. I'm guessing there are other pieces like this that are about 2 centimetres. So beautiful, beautiful. Let's use some of it. I especially like the joined pieces. I think that they're really interesting. So I can't find the end of it. I'll make my own end. I'll just chop some off, and then I'll have to find somewhere to put that, because it was all like this, so I just had it stored really neatly, and now it's exploded when I opened it up. I've also put some washi tape down on the bottom of here, and now I'm going to put a piece of sari silk on. I'll probably go and sew this, I think, because I want to sew around the edges anyway. So as I sew, I'll put some sari silk on there. I was going to put some lace on, but now I think I'll stick with the sari silk because it's beautiful. It's just very cool. So I'll just cut myself a piece. And this piece will go down the bottom. And I want to fray it a bit, so I'm just tearing it a little bit on either end. It's already fairly good. Let's just tear some edges off so you get a bit of fraying on the ends. So I'll put that over the washi tape down there, and then I need to put some more paper in here as well. If I can put another piece of this actually. I'm going to do a bit more of that too, because I quite like that look that I'm managing to create there. And I don't really think it matters if it covers the stamp a little. Put this one in here. What I'm wanting to do is to cover the join here, so that when you put things in, you don't get that problem of trying to tuck things and they're catching there. I can stick it down better than I have. That's one way of fixing it. But I also want to make sure that you don't catch on it when things get stuck in. So I am putting a bit more paper down. Getting some torn pieces and just pop them down in here. And I will put some of this washi down. Now this is the Tim Holtz design tape, and what I've found is that it's really hard to tear. I think I've mentioned that a couple of times, but so now I have to be careful and make sure I chop it with the scissors before I use it, which means I have to just chop a bit and hopefully it'll be the right size, and if it's not the right size I'll use it anyway. Now I'm trying to get that flap down, so I'm putting the washi tape right in there, and then it'll stick down on top hopefully. I might put it down like this. I've covered up the words on that paper, but I don't really care. And I want to put more washi. Where is it? I think I'll put it across the centre of here where I've stuck these two bits together. So it's just peeping up from inside the envelope. Now I mustn't lose my bit of sari silk that's going down here, and I'll put some here too, I think. I'm going to have to glue this one down because it won't sew. I can sew the bottom one, but this one won't sew, so a bit of glue should take care of that. And I will catch it when I sew the side up. And chop a bit of this and put it down up here too, I think. I'll just chop that bit and stick it down up the top. I think I'm going to put some more washi on here so that that is stuck down a bit better than it is at the moment. Just go along here. Okay, I've sewn that now. Just cut some threads off here. I'm just sewing it down each side and around the bottom. So I've still got my pockets in. So I have pulled out some Tim Holtz stuff because he makes me happy, and I always find that if I use his stuff things seem to work for me. It's looking a bit bland, and they're letters, so I'm going with a postal theme, and these are just all the little things that I put into a bundle and use them as you know, call them postal bits, because I figured that that might look good. Now that's too big. I've got some others here that say fragile. I'm not going to sew these, I'm just going to stick them down, glue them down. Special delivery, maybe over the top of there. I've got some little aeroplanes. What's this? First class mail. Maybe I can put this one. Where will I put this one? That's too small for there. I also have an aeroplane. Airmail aeroplane can go up here maybe. Actually up the top, that might look good. How's that looking? I do struggle putting things on angles, you know that about me. And I'm looking with that going, oh, do I really want that on an angle? No, I don't see answer. Sometimes it takes a while. I often get comments saying, oh, you just know where to put things, but actually I don't. I take my time and I try things about 10 times to make sure I'm happy with them. and try and block the noise out of the rest of the stuff that's on the table, so that I can try and see in my mind if that's looking any good. And I think that that is good. I would like something on this envelope though, via airmail. How's this one? That's all right. These are beautiful. I love these postage ones that he does. They're sort of in those beautiful vintagey red and blue colours. Not in your face, just really, really nice and vintagey. Pop those back in. I will do some close-ups of these and I will put them on Instagram, as I'm sort of trying to put things on Instagram and make them close up so that you can, you know, see the full effect that perhaps you don't get in a video. And I've got to do the last bit. Where's my piece of paper gone? So what I've done is taken my manila folder, I've scored this piece on the edge, and that's going to be how I attach it into a journal, because it is quite big now. And then this piece is going to go down here so that I've got a page on the other side which I can decorate and or use for journaling. So this is what I've done today. I've done the two little journaling spots, and then I've done the triple pocket envelope. So I'll just show you and demonstrate that you could put something in here. In fact, you could put these in here, but they're probably a bit bulky. And then I've got another one in here, and then I've got one down the bottom as well. So I've got 3 pockets now, and I think that that's pretty good and enough for today. I also want to encourage you to go and look at some of the people who are following along and doing this little junk journal that I made. And one of them in particular, Craftydawk, Janette Dawkins, she's an Australian lady. I'll put the link to her YouTube channel below, but she's just finished hers up and it looks really great, and it's completely different. She's used the concept and some of the inspiration, but it's actually completely different to mine, which is really great to see. I love how that we can all inspire each other. It's a wonderful world, the world of crafters. So thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.